Welcome back. Today I'm definitely 100% going to fit both of the chassis wheels. Well, I said it last time, but it didn't happen, and this time it did happen because I've just finished. So what I do, I'll run the video and show you how I've done it, and we'll go from there. Yeah, it took me probably about 2 or 3 days. The actual chassis rail and all the supports are only tacked in at the moment. A couple of reasons. One reason, just in case I have to move them, which I probably will. Fingers crossed I don't. And the other reason is mainly I'm getting on gas. Right, these are all the pieces I've cut out today for the other frame. They're all squared up nicely. I've just got to put them together now. That's the bit that sits on. Goes up that way like that. That bit there can be welded in. Exactly the same as the other one. And that's pretty much it. Well, I've got all the chassis to weld up. There is actually a sequence. The other chassis leg's actually all tacked, but it doesn't make any difference. But the sequence you should actually weld these up is do this seam here first. Then what that'll do, it'll stop it doing all this. So once that's actually welded, it might open up a little bit on there. Doesn't matter, but you can just push it but closed again, just like that. Then, so that's the first weld. Your second weld is here. Now that's, bear in mind that's actually welded, so you go from that side towards the weld. If you go from there to that to the open bit, that will actually open up as it goes along. So the first weld is up there, just stop it doing all this. Second weld, oh, there's a little gap there. I'll go from there towards the weld, and that's actually locked in place now. Then the third weld, I can't really show you, but is here. Again, go towards the first bit apart, then go towards the weld. And to finish off, bearing in mind that's welded and that's welded, you can go any way you like. Well, that's the way. Some good news and some bad news. The good news is I managed to tack together the other chassis rail, but it didn't match up to the original one, so I had to take it all apart again. Still, I want to get it right. So that one piece is right. It's all clamped. Well, I'm just gonna, this one's too long for some reason. Let's go there. It's too long. There, look. So I'll cut that piece off. So I'll do one piece at a time. So I'll make this one fit. Tack, get that one on. Then do the next piece. Well, it doesn't matter, I suppose it really matters they're a little bit out, but they're both the same. There's the well, the good news, I've managed to do all the welding. I think I might have missed a couple of little bits. It's not too bad. Don't like noises. The bad news is I lost my bloody glasses. I've had to use these things. I'm just about to see what I'm doing. So all in all, it's come out. It's right, come out pretty good. I'm quite pleased with it at the moment. So I'm just going to let it cool. Now I've got to drill some holes. I'm going to touch it because it's hot in there. And same on the other side, so I can run a bit of tube between the two legs. Well, I've got it all set up again for the other hole. Looks like it's spot on. The thing I've noticed, I've missed all the corners, look. Corner missed, again. They've all got to come back off again. I need to re-weld some of them are a bit dodgy. Well, it's no excuse, but I've lost my glasses and I'm wearing these crappy ones at the moment. I can't really see out of them that well. So I'm just hoping that is in line. Well, let's drill that, put it on and see what it looks like. Well, I've almost got it fitting. I've cleaned all the mess out. Unfortunately, that bottom corner there is where, I think that's where there's a little hole there for the end of the leaf spring. Now, I've welded it all up, and I actually, unfortunately, put a bit of filler on it to blend it all in. So I now had to use the old grinder with the old wire wheel on it, take it all off. So it's all bared up there nicely now. And that doesn't look like it, but it's all nice and clear. All I've got to do now is try and get that piece fitting as nice as that. So I'm going to play around with it. I've got to take a little bit off the other side. So I should do that and get it all fitting nicely. It's not that far out at the moment, but it just needs a fettling a little bit more. So let's get that done, then I'll come back to you when it's all fitting better. Well, that's the other support all done. I've only sort of tacked it at the moment. You can see just by looking at it how much I like to cut it. So that piece there sort of an angle, yeah, that's hot. All this bottom piece here, I've had to sort of nib out these corners. And if you look at the profile there, you can see one side shorter than the other. So it took me quite a while. I've actually put some massive great big tack as well. So what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to fully weld it. I should do really, but I won't. Like I keep saying, I've getting low on gas and I just want to get the frame in. I don't really want to sort of go charging out. So I want to put some of that weld through primer on it and the other side, get it in position and take it all up. Well, I had a bit of a problem. I couldn't decide how to set these wheels up. Now this wheel here is exactly where I want it. I've closed the door and it looks really good in the arch. So I've come up with this little cunning plan. I use one of these with a steel rule on the back. I'll put it on there like that. I actually drew another line there because I couldn't see the 90. And if you put it around to the 90, which is there, look straight on that way, that's spot on. I've done the other side, I've moved it, juggled it all around. See, the other side is exactly the same. No point showing the other side because it'd be the same as this. So I've checked it 3 times so far, and that's where it's got to go. And also what I've done, I've levelled the engine up. I couldn't really find a good sort of level place to put it, so I thought I used the top of the cam cover. That's spot on there. So the engine is exactly where I want it to be now. I think it looks quite good, doesn't it? So the next thing to do now is, hopefully without moving anything, I'm going to make these engine mounts up. I'll do the engine mounts this side first. I've cut a couple of pieces of metal. Oh, they're rusty, but I actually bought them from Fleabay and they're supposed to be new, so I should write a negative reply back to that bloke because I could have sent it back, but I need them now. I'll have to wait another week otherwise. But what I will do is make a template. I did start making them out of a bit of cardboard. This tube that's going to come up from here to there is going to be easy. That's going to be a pain. On the other side, it's sort of on there. That'd be quite easy, that one. Well, say that, it probably won't be, will it? But anyway, do the hard one first. Alright, this is the cunning plan. I made a cardboard template and it actually fits in there quite nicely. I wrapped it around a piece of pipe. I marked the centre's there and the centre's there. So I've offered it up to here. That's where it's going to go. I can't really see because it's a bit cables in it here. It's going to go something like that. Well, I'll set up in the vise. I'm just going to chop that end off and that end off there. I'll gradually use a hacksaw. I think I can get it more accurate. We'll see anyway. Let's give it a go. Well, I've managed to get this piece in. The welding looks pretty crap, but it's actually in there. I was only going to tack it, but I welded it a bit more. See, stay them welds down there. I've got to grind them out and redo them, so it won't be a big issue. I actually turned the amperage up because I thought when I was welding these, I don't think the amperage was high enough. It's beading quite a lot. So I've got that one in. It's tacked around there. Later on, when it cools down, I go on the other side and weld around there as much as I can. And then when I take all this off, because it's only, remember it's only held on with 2 tacks, I can do all the welds. I can grind all these off and re-weld all these and make them look pretty. The next one I've got to do, next one is that one. So, wish me luck. I've done the easy one first, just sort of, but it did actually work out alright. By doing that paper template, worked out alright, because it wants to go with sort of an angle, something like that, I reckon. Right, no little piece of angle I found. I'm going to weld in there to support it. Light's not very good. I can weld across here, there, and the other side. I should be able to weld up here a little bit and across there, so it's going to tie all this frame into that. And that frame there's well secure, so it'll blend in. Probably a bit over the top, but there you go. Well, I've got the engine mount off. Well, the base of the engine mount. The piece on the back there, I couldn't quite reach it. Stayed in weld. I couldn't quite reach it with a MIG welder. I thought I got it, but I didn't. Obviously, so it all fell off. So I'll weld that when it's on the car. That's all together now. It's still a bit warm. And what I've done, I bolted it together like that. So it's got to fit. So what I'm going to do now, I've got an arc welder, which is there. I'm running some sticks in it, and I'm just going to weld this up. And once I've welded the bottom bit out, turn it over, give this a grind out, give it a good clean up, and I shall run a weld all the way on there. And it's time to go back on. Right, it's all welded underneath. I won't touch it because it's really hot. It's all welded underneath there. I've ground off all the tacks that I put on here. I'm going to run a weld down there, down the other side. Then I'll clean it all up. And I've got to put this, the other piece here, which is a bracket for the slave cylinder for the clutch. Like I just said, I didn't weld it very well, so I'm going to have to weld it when it's on. So, well, that's all welded up. I'm not going to touch that now because it's bloody hot. You can see the heat coming out of it. So the welds come out all right. Just needs a very tiny clear. Wandered a little bit there, but there you go. Right, the next part, I haven't actually welded that back piece yet. I'm just softening it up, but that bit of box section is going to be welded on there like that. I'm going to cut that off flush, or square rather. Then I'm going to put a flange on it. The reason I'm going to do that is because I think it'd be easier for getting the engine in and out, rather than trying to fiddle around trying to get them 2 bolts through there. So I'm going to make some flanges out, a pair of flanges. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Well, I marked both flanges out. I'm going to cut sort of down there. So there's 2 flanges here. Ignore all the crosses in it. I've just marked it out so I can put that on there like that. That's where it's going to be welded, just like that. And these centres there are going to be for the bolt. 10mm bolt, like that. So it's in the centre. So I'm going to, before I do anything else, I'm just going to centre punch this flange. Then when I've cut them all out, I'm going to weld them together, or tack them together, and drill them through together. So it doesn't matter if them holes are a little bit out, they're both going to be the same. If that sort of makes sense. Well, I managed to cut these 2 pieces out. I won't touch it because it's really hot. Out of that big piece of plate I got. Yeah, I know this plate's too big really. It only needs to be 6mm, but this is what I've got. I've marked it all out and centre punch where the holes are going to go. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to clamp them together and weld them. Just put a tack either side. Then I'm going to drill through the holes so that they'll all be in line. I'll actually put a little proof marking down one side, like a hacksaw blade mark, just a little cut so they go round the right way. So this is, well, I'll just put a little tack there. I won't touch it, it's hot. Well, there, it's not even in the middle. And on the opposite side under there, I don't know if you can see, I put a couple of little hacksaw marks. So when I've actually drilled them, I know which way to put them round. Yep.
The winding road, I will never be alone. As long as I've got you, we'll scale the heights, up every mountain, like it was yesterday. I feel it every way. follow me, come and follow me. I'm on hold until the winter, I'm on hold until the last leaf falls.
Right, that's that all done. Well, I've done actually treated and filed all the corners. I cut it with a grinding disc and cut them, just make it all blend in a bit better. The only concern I've got about it really, they're bloody heavy. I should have only done it out of 6mm really. Well, didn't have any 6mm, so this will have to do, won't it? Well, that's the bit I'm going to use. I'm going to cut that off there, make it square. And this is upside down at the moment because that's going to go onto the mount on the engine itself, or the gearbox. And then I'm going from the top of that. It's hard to explain really, but I'm sure it'll come clear. Yep. Well, that's the first part of the support. Obviously there's the flange I've just made. I've just tacked it onto that bit of a square box, and it's just rested on top of that, well, the engine mount bit. So I'm just seeing what it looks like. I think it's going to be okay, isn't it? Then I've got to connect from there up to there somewhere. Up to there. So looks like I'll just use a bit of box section, doesn't it? Alright, so I cut a bit. I cut a piece oversize, fold it up there, and just see what it looks like. Well, I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but I don't really want the connecting piece to go from the gearbox to the outside of the box when it's going underneath the box section. So I'm going to cut these pieces out, sort of stagger it, make it go down like that, and down. Well, I marked it out again this time. It's actually 22.5 degrees. So I was going to saw it by hacksaw, but it's too much hard work, so I'm going to get a grinding disc on it, or cutting disc. But I've made the mark on it, so I know which bits I've got to cut now. So let's cut it out and see if it works this time. Right, I've tacked it on. I've tacked it there and under there. I'm quite happy with it at the moment. I'm just going to go and have a quick look at it and see if it fits all right. And I'll fully weld it and stick it in. The job's be a good one. Well, I'm going to attempt to arc weld all this up. I want to do it in the proper sequence it's supposed to, because so I'm going to go from there to there, because that's sort of welded, it's where the bend is. And on this one, I'm going to go from there to there. Does that make sense? Well, that one went okay. And that one started blowing through a little bit. So I'll let that cool down. So I'll completely weld the whole lot. I might just put a cap over the top of that just to strengthen it, because it does need a bit of strength there. I might turn the amperage down a little bit. I don't know about to show you this one then. I'll just put another cap over it. Oh, that's right, isn't it? Oh, that's a lot stronger. A lot of heat in there at the moment. I'm just going to let it all cool down and do its thing, and then give it a bit of a grind up. Well, that's the engine mount sort of roughed out. That flange there is obviously bolted to that bottom one. I've just made this piece up. Now I made a bit of a mistake on it, but it doesn't really matter, because I think I can get away with it. At the top there's a bit of a gap. I cut it too short, but I was going to, believe it or not, put these little pieces in either side. So I think it'll work out okay. And that little gap, when I take it all off, I'll be able to fit out a weld. So it's all looking good. So I'm going to put one of these that side, and one the other side. And what I can do, once I get them fitting nicely, I can weld these little fillets in onto that piece. Don't worry about that at the moment. Fully weld the bottom piece. Then I can put it all back together at the top and just tack it in either side. And then that'll be that side done. Well, it's amazing there's some sort of a mucker. I don't know how to cut that short, but it doesn't matter. There's no good worrying about it. It's short now, so it'll have to stay like that, but it'll be just as strong, because I'll be able to weld all the way around here and whatever, so it'll be just as strong. It's a bit over the top of that engine mount, but looks good, doesn't it? Well, I managed to get some tacks on it while it's in situ. It's not sort of fantastic, but what I'm going to do, I've got a welding rod there. I can't really see. Let me get it out. Clean the welding rod up. I'm going to use the arc welder. I'm going to see if I can weld all the corners. 4 corners while these other tacks are in place. And once I've done the corners, I'm going to grind these tacks out and start welding it. But what I will do the 4 corners first, take it back over to the car and have a look at it and see what the score is. Well, I've got quite a bit of a gap there, so I've actually cleaned these welds up where the MIG welder was. So what I'm going to do, I'm still going to clean a little bit of slag off there, get off slag. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to concentrate on this base plate. And I'm just going to run some welds on the base plate. Just keep filling them up. So it comes up to that level, then I can actually weld into there. And again, down here, I'm just going to aim the rod sort of down like that and go across and just build it up. And do it all the way around too. I'm happy with it. Then when I get it there, I can do a nice weld on the top of it to join that to the weld. Then hopefully I can put a nice cap on it. I've given it 2 passes. That one went a bit crooked. I'm just going to let it cool down for a bit. I'm just going to keep building it up and building it up. Probably that's the worst, but that's the biggest gap there, I think. So let it cool down and do another pass. Getting there. Well, it's all welded up. It's cut a little tiny holes there, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. I put loads of roots to the bottom and big cap over the top. Didn't come out too bad, is it? That one, that's come out quite nice. The corners are not finished. I'm not going to worry too much about it at the moment because, like I said, it's all got to come back off again and it'll be dressed up. What I want to do while it's there, just fill a little gap up there and make it a bit easier when I come to weld it on. So I'm just going to let that cool down because that's piping hot at the moment. As soon as that's cool, clean it up, weld it up, put it on the car, tack it in, and job's a good one. Well, that's the other engine mount all done. Along the top there, there's a bit more of a gap than I thought actually. Anyway, not too worried about that. I started tacking it, then I started welding it, but I've done the other side as well. So it's all really hot at the moment, so I bolted it all down. Gonna let it all cool down. Let me show you from the other side. Don't see too much yet. Nice big weld down the bottom there, big cap. Obviously all needs cleaning up and painting and all stuff like that, but that's the engine that's in there. All I've got to do now is try and work out what I'm going to do about that bracket there, which I'm going to have a think about that, because that's what you need to do. Well, I have to anyway. Really, I want it to connect from there to here. There's a chance of that unbolting on there. I might take that bracket completely off, put something completely different on. It doesn't actually need to be like that, does it? Thanks for watching this video. I'm sorry it's a bit long and a bit boring in places, because I've tried to make it more interesting as much as I can. I've shown you all the mistakes I've made, and there's still loads more coming. But all in all, I think it's coming out alright. I'm really pleased with this bracket. It's a bit well over top for what it's supposed to be. And when I take this top piece out, this top frame, because it's only actually tacked down there and to the other side, well, I can take it off and put it on the bench and weld it up really nicely, make it nice and tidy and clean. In fact, that might be my next job, not sure yet. Oh no, I'm out of gas, I'm getting low on gas. The other side, that's all done. Well, once again, thanks so much for watching. If you could subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. It just helps me to keep the channel going. It is hard work actually doing the videos, because you have to keep stopping and videoing and whatever. There's only me. I'm not particularly that good at editing and whatever. I'm not really good at welding actually. But anyway, thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate your subscriptions and any comments and any likes. Don't forget, it's all free. Please feel free to leave some comments, even if they're bad ones. And quite a few of you actually have been commenting on bits and pieces I've been doing, and actually stopped me from doing something stupid, which is not that hard really. Anyway, thanks again so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye now.